I remember I was shadowing with the platoon commander. And then we kind of had got our way up to the top. And I just started moving forward. And I've thought about this a lot. I certainly, and I'll talk about it later, but you can armchair quarterback everything. And I'm just detaching from who I was shadowing because it didn't seem, at this point, I'm not being value added by just standing there. And so I was going to take part. And moving forward, I was going step by step. All of a sudden, the next thing I know, I'm on the ground. I want to say there was a flash of light. I didn't hear anything. I was on the ground. I didn't know what had happened. Now, this is where the experiences of combat can be different from one person to another. And if I would, to get a complete picture, you'd have to talk to everybody that was up there. All I remember is waking up, coming to. Mm-hmm. I don't know how long I was out. I've talked to people on that operation who are down below. They said a massive mushroom cloud went off. And that for a long time, nobody was responding on the radio. And that they thought perhaps everybody up there was dead. All I remember is coming to. I was disoriented. It occurred to me, I must have stepped on a pressure plate. I remember that. And pressure plate below the ground, the bomb goes off. I didn't know what the bomb was, but it turns out, I'm told, 2 105 millimeter artillery shells wired together. The second one didn't go off. The first one went off low order. So, I mean, this can destroy everybody up there, armored vehicle. But the second one didn't explode, and yeah, low order. But I'm laying there, and I just remember thinking, I need my teammates. It didn't occur to me that they were dead, but I didn't know if they were alive. I just knew I needed them. And I remember reaching up for my push to talk. I remember I got to get man down out over the radio. And I reached up for where it should be, but it's not there. I was thinking, this is not good. And nothing on my kit is, nothing's where it's supposed to be. Only my arms seem to work. I can't see anything. I think my helmet had been blasted off, night vision gone with it. I can't move. Only my arms are working. And I'm laying there. For a second, I just felt utterly helpless because I couldn't do anything. You want to be doing something. I tried to find my push to talk. It's not there. In my memory, the next thing that happened, though, my teammates are on me. None of them had been injured. Bells rung, yes, but nobody incapacitated. We could not afford to have one other person incapacitated up there. Remote position, elevated. I mean, just not a good situation to even have one person down, but two, really not. I mean, just, if not impossible to deal with. We had a medic up there, of course. Navy explosive ordnance disposal is trying to just protect us at this point, digging for sweeping and digging for finding additional IEDs, I'm told, up there. There were several. In fact, we had been walking on them. None had gone off until I found one. But the medic, fortunately, responded. It wasn't injured, responded as he was trained to do. Everybody responded as they were trained to do, selflessly, quickly, to try to save my life. And I remember him putting on a tourniquet. We practice putting these on in training, but you don't ever really crank it down like you do when you need to actually save someone's life and to actually cut off blood flow, staunch blood flow. It's painful. Just cranking that thing down. I wasn't in pain from the blast. I was in shock, but I do remember the tourniquet getting cranked down. But that wasn't enough, so we applied another one, and then another one, and another one, and another one. I'm told it was 6 total, just cranking each one of them down to try to stop the blood flow to my lower body. And then I'm told that there was just this scramble going on. Unbeknownst to me, this is happening all external to my own inner world right now. But to get the helicopters that initially dropped us off, which according to the plan, we're going to go back to Kandahar Airfield 45-minute flight away. Touchdown, refuel, unload an Army Special Forces team and some Afghan commando troops, bringing these soldiers back to be a blocking force for when that target assault would commence. So the plan was already to bring the helicopters back, but this is now a major contingency that has to be responded to, and time and fuel and everything is going to be of the essence. Now, I'm only hearing this after the fact again, but it's going to be a race against the clock to try to get me out of there because time is of the essence. And so the guys up above, you know, they hadn't cleared the hilltop, so there's no way you can land or hover a helicopter up there. I mean, it's just too dangerous. So they got to get me down off this hill that we had taken, you know, it's 20 minutes plus to climb when we were good, not to mention now dragging someone. I seem to remember them carrying me and tripping and falling, and I'm falling from a few feet in the air, and it just, in addition to being damaging to my body, it just was slow. They needed to go to the down man drag, shoulder straps of my kit, dragging me. And so this is where their grit comes into play, and their fitness and their desire to save my life, and why I'm eternally grateful to my teammates, because they were having to drag me down a steep, dark, rocky hilltop, switching off, dragging. And it's fatiguing to do that. Maybe one or two are going at a time and they're rotating out. The medic is attending to me. And I remember that I was probably in and out of consciousness, but I don't recall that. I just recall this just happening in real time and with no interruptions. And people have asked, did you think you were going to die or anything? No, I didn't. I just didn't. There was no space in my mind, no capacity to think those thoughts, because I was consumed, inundated by the pain. Getting dragged over, it was sharp, craggy rocks. And this, when I talk about the pain of 6 tourniquets getting applied, or any physical pain of like doing a marathon or running a Hell Week race with a log or something, it's just, it doesn't compare to this. This was excruciating. And it was all I could do just to try to stay awake and stay awake and stay awake and stay awake. And I think that was my desire to live, that if I could stay awake, that is my struggle to live and to not succumb. And so that was what I was focused on. And whether my brain was saying that or not, that's what was happening. I wasn't thinking thoughts of, you need to stay awake in order to live. It just was, stay awake. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I think at this point, it's getting very close to the helicopters and their fuel, time fuel calculation, bingo fuel, all of this. You know, if they hit bingo fuel, they're gone with or without me. And I'm told that I got loaded onto the helicopter really, really close to the bingo fuel mark. So, I mean, there was a lot that had to line up for that to happen. And for me to get on that helicopter, I shook Nick's hand. I remember that. I absolutely remember that. He got off the back. They were going to continue with the operation. The tail ramp goes up, and then I remember there was a light in my face, and then it was out. I don't remember anything after that.